So I'm Tony Frank with the Office of Information Security. I'm the dude with the smiley face by his name. Welcome to Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This is the month where we try to teach you how to be cyber smart, or at least how to not get hacked easily to where I got to come see you later on in the year. Um, so today's lecture is going to be Fight the Phish, or how to avoid phishing and cybercrime. Um, On this one, phishing is a kind of internet fraud, and it gets weird. So when it's by email, it's phishing, as I'm telling you about. When it's by telephone or voicemail, it's vishing. When it's by text messaging, it's smishing. When it's by QR code, it's quishing. I don't make these names up. I wish I would find something else if I made the names up. Now, the one that I'm going to mainly try to get you to avoid right now is quishing, the QR code scanning, because you're at that point doing the cyber attacker's job for them, because you just saw a random QR code and go, let me go to this website. I'm not saying if you go to a nice restaurant and they put their menu in QR code, don't scan that one. No, go ahead. I'm saying if you at a gas station, you just see it pointed on the side of something, please, please, please don't just scan and go to these things. That would probably be a bad idea. The reason that they have phishing is they're trying to steal your credentials. They're giving you a false website that's going somewhere that you wanted to go, that is either giving you malware attacks at that time or trying to steal your credentials. Now, when they have more information, it's called spear phishing, which is something that looks at high value targets or employees. The reason they'd want to do that is because they assume that the CEO of the company has more access than they need, or that they want to use it for another type of scam, such as the credit card scams where your boss emails you and tells you to go buy something and they'll reimburse you, and to send that gift card. On these things, I want you to actually know who's communicating with you. Know that your boss isn't generally just gonna, out of the random, go, hey man, I need a Walmart gift card or I need a GameStop gift card. If your boss needs that and you don't work at GameStop, question your employment. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to trick you into downloading ransomware or creating backdoors into your infrastructure, such as the university or wherever that you work at. All right, we're going to do a quick pop quiz. What type of email do you think has the most phishing success? Do you think it's going to be a fear-based one, like a complaint is filed against you, a social-based email, a reward-based email, or a job function based email? You first? Huh? You think it's fear-based? Okay, everybody, ma'am? Okay, you're at job function. You guys are at fear-based? You're at reward based. So what we find out from the resilience, weirdly, the holiday gift cards or the holiday card ones, everybody just assumes that no, my friend is dumb and sent me a weird holiday gift greeting card, and now you got malware. Now the reward based is number two on that one, then job based, job function, just because people are looking for jobs. And then last, the success rate is the fear based. At some point, we normally go, is that supposed to be there with the fear based ones? Because it gives you that time it takes to actually think. For the holiday cards, you just think your friend's dumb and gave you a holiday card. So let me go see what weird animation's going to pop up, and malware. Cybercrime is criminal activity that either targets or uses a computer or computer network. Cybercrime is committed by hackers, cybercriminals who want to make money, and some cybercrime aims at computer networks for reasons other than profit. We call that hacktivism, when it goes from either our rival school wants to just do something, and not the school itself, but students at it want to play a prank as the most lenient form of it, to somebody actually wants to infiltrate your email network so they can then pivot that to send more email in your name to the rest of the school and have that nice trusted edu by their name when they do it. Cybercrime goes from everything from email and internet fraud to ransomware to cyber extortion. And I'm going to show you examples of all of these today, to illegal gambling and the selling of illegal items online. Yes, sir. Oh, you're called. Sorry. Now, all cybercrime comes back to the same as all fraud and all crimes. It has been around, it's just a different mechanism to do it. It goes down to appeals to authority, appeals to urgency, appeals to self interest, appeals to harm. I'm going to show you a couple examples of each of those, but they're trying a psychological trick to make you not question what's going on here and to quickly do the action, such as press the button that they want you to do. The main thing I want you to do is when you see a highlighted hyperlink, put your mouse over it for a couple of seconds and see where that goes. Because does it go where you expected it to go? Because if it doesn't, don't go there. I'm showing you right now an appeal to self-interest. This one is, good day, students. In accordance to the work and study regulations of this institution, we are pleased to inform you about the available part-time position. As personal assistant at $550 weekly wages. Now, there are multiple things about this one that you should see that's just a little bit off. We'll start off with the first thing is that's not how people ask you for jobs. That is not going to go that way. I'm sorry. The second is $550 weekly for a personal assistant job seems a little bit off. If it seems off, I want you to not go through the method that they're asking you to go through it. Actually call up the place. Actually double check. Go in there in person if you want to. But what you don't do is just go through that chain, because otherwise I'll be talking to you later on about why you're a money mule. And I don't think we want to have this conversation at that point of, so now I got to get the FBI involved. You were actually smuggling money for the cartel. You don't want that. This is another appeal to self-interest. This was during the coronavirus where, yes, they will take advantage of disasters. There's more than likely multiple ones going out to hurricane victims right now about, hey, this is where you can go to for shelter, or hey, this is because they're taking advantage of something that makes people have a sense of urgency. Because when you're running from a hurricane, you just assume that this is going to be something that is good for me. Even in those conditions, I need you to stop, pause, take a second, actually contemplate where it's going, scan it, make sure it's going where it's supposed to. And if you still have a funny feeling about it, find an alternate method of contact that is not what they're telling you to do. There are appeals to authority like this one, also during the coronavirus, that they're the CDC and they're looking for different things. Now on these links, I know it says that this is where that link goes. Still hover on that link. Find out where it actually goes. Because I can make any random text hyperlink to go to wherever I want to. You highlight it, you tell it to hyperlink, and then you put the link in where you want it to go. I'm not trying to tell you how to commit crime. I'm just telling you that's how they do that. Then there's appeal to urgency, like this one of they're messing with your money. Everybody gets a little bit weird when my money is involved, and let me go check this one out right now because I want to get paid. Always slow down. What do they want me to do? Why do they want me to do it? Who is contacting me? These are questions that I want to know on any message that I'm answering. And then there's appeals to harm, and this one gets a little bit weird. Okay, so on this one, which is an actual email we got, they said that they took over your camera, and while you were at a porn site, we caught all of that, and now we're going to blackmail you for money in the form of Bitcoin. This is actually a random one that's going out right now. 9 out of 10, even if you did do that, they don't have it. There's a whole lot of safeguards they would have had to break, and just the threat has been enough for people to actually comply. Much less, I hate to tell you, they're not trustworthy, so if you pay them, that doesn't mean that they're going to not blackmail you again. I am not telling you to face the embarrassment and harm that you're going to have to do, but I'm telling you that it ain't going to go away. Just complying with them is not going to help. It'd be better to then get the authorities involved to see if you can do something about that one. I know it could be embarrassing, but I'd rather be embarrassed than I would be gotten out of money to people who will continually have that. It's not like the video went away. So this is one of the ones, so they are very good at what times of the year, like when student loans go out, when student aid goes out, when scholarships come in. They're great on what time of the year it is for what scam that they're going for because they're here for the money. That's what they want. And if you'll see, these are just ways that, like, if you hover over that cat's web, it's going to go to some place that's not Texas State. If you see bgsu.edu is not texasstate.edu. This is why we have to pay attention to it. This is not going to be the way that you would actually be hit up for payment because we already have a payment site, which you're thinking, okay, they're asking me to go to cat's web for that payment. Why wouldn't I just go there on my own? Why do I got to follow your link? But we've had, like I said, we've had many examples, especially during time of emergency of Corona updates or Corona Direct. There are multiple red flags. You can tell by the poor writing conventions, which I hate to say that one because if you ever see any emails from me, they're horrible. My English teacher is not the happiest with me at this point in the game. But most people are now editing their emails well. Not me, but most people. You'll see that they have emotional appeals to it. Texas State is not going to have an emotional appeal to you about paying your bills. We either gonna cut your stuff off or you're gonna go on. There ain't never gonna be no negotiating with you about it. You'll see that they have a blend of real and fraudulent information in there. And you can see at the end on the bottom row that there's an emotional appeal to a sense of urgency because they need you to do it now. Because if you took the time to actually think about what was going on, you'd find a different route or you wouldn't do it. So as I've been going on, for identifying phishing, what we want to do is know who's contacting me, to not be reactive to it, to inspect our hyperlinks, to avoid attachments. Not in the Buddhist sense of the word of avoiding attachments, but in the actual, what is that weird PDF or JPEG that they have as an attachment? Now, luckily, if you're getting it through our Outlook, there is a virus scanner that is going to go on that one, but still be cautious of whatever that is. You can look for mismatched URLs, you can look for poor grammar, you can look for unexpected correspondence. Is it the time of year that you're supposed to be getting hit up for money? Here's at the bottom is an example of what happens when you hyperlink and then it goes to some place that it's not supposed to go to. As you hover it over, that's not where drive.google docs. So why is this going there? If you see that, turn around and I want you to send that one in. Let me find you. You can report it as phishing either in two ways. You can either hit the report as phishing button and you can send it as an attachment, forward it as an attachment. That goes to abuse@texasstate.edu. We have way nicer information security technicians than myself there. They will be happy to answer your emails, to inspect it, to look through it, to answer any questions that you might have about it. Just saying, if you feel a type of way about it, if it looks suspect, send it in. We'll check it out. You'll get a response back in 24 hours. And so what they want to do, because you'll see these are both of these are fraudulent pages. You can tell by this one, it just looks off. We only caught this one because it was from a scheme that they had played on Baylor, and it had the Baylor color scheme instead of our color scheme. And that was just a fraudulent login, which is where they're going to send you because they don't actually want to send you. They may even pass you through to the page. What they actually want is your user ID and password so that they can come back later, either make a repository for sale on the dark web or to use it to try to exploit something from the site, either to get into your Microsoft account, because once they get your email, then they can move that on to leverage more control in different areas. Because if I got your email, what's your bank gonna say? Well, I couldn't get in, forgot my password, it goes to my email. Now they got that email. Now they got your bank account. Now this one, luckily for your generation, I shouldn't have to do this part of it. For mine, it's a little bit better. The reason I say that is Don't respond to unknown numbers. I hate to tell you, any of my cousins under the age of 25 ain't picking up the phone regardless of what I do. If I didn't send a text message, it ain't gonna go through. Now, I hope that y'all are nicer than that. I hope. Okay, so yeah, y'all aren't. All right, cool, cool, cool. Never share your personal or financial information. So, a friend of mine is a dating coach, and he goes through and deals with people on the romance scams or the pig butcher scams. And for that one, he gives the best cheat code that's available for that. If you have not met that person in real life, sat down and had a meal with them, don't give them money. Don't forward them money. You don't have a Canadian girlfriend. I promise you. That's a dude. And he's not even in Canada. I'm just saying. If you have not had a meal with this person, yeah, let's not give them my banking information. I wouldn't even share Netflix with them if I ain't sat down and had a meal with you. That's just me. Be resolute when being pressured because they will keep coming back of, I'm the IRS, don't make us send police there. The IRS doesn't do that. They ain't never going to, I mean, they do arrest you, but don't worry, there will be a long, drawn out court procedure. You will actually know it's them. Um, Texas State will never call you and ask you for money or your personal info. We already got it. Why am I asking you for it? You already filled that out when you signed up to come here. These are examples of, and luckily they caught this one in time, but this is how they pressure you into it that it's me, Miss Karen. I got your message or you're interested in my pa. Yes, could you give me details for the position? All right, I've uploaded the job. Here's the link. Okay, she got the link. Send me the code that you got from your Duo for your passcode. Never, ever, ever send anybody your passcode from Duo. If you did not initiate it yourself, then that Duo code does not need to go anywhere else. Only if you did that, even if you see your Duo go off on your phone, don't just hit yes, because that means somebody else is trying to get into your stuff. All right, so at this point in the game, we're 3, 4 weeks out from the election. You're gonna get weird election robocalls, telling you to vote for a candidate, and some of that is actually real. It's all annoying, but some of it is actually real from the Democratic or the Republican Party sending you out stuff to get you to vote for the candidate. But some of it is also scam. So what I want you to do, yet again, y'all should already know who you're voting for. I don't care which side you're going for. Do not respond to calls from unknown numbers or ones that appear suspicious. Never share your personal information. I know they might have said that they got a hotline to Kamala Harris. Guess what? They don't. They ain't got one. They ain't trying to help you. There's no secret dinner that's going to happen. If you ain't got millions of dollars, she ain't sitting down to eat with you. If you ain't going to Mar-a-Lago, Trump ain't sitting down to eat with you. There is no special guest getting put in. Sorry, that's never going to happen. And if it does, please let me know. I won't know from my record so I can go, okay, yeah, one person managed to do this. I ain't never seen it done. Be cautious if you're pressured. Remember that government agencies, even political parties, are not going to call you and ask you for. They will email you and ask you for money. They're never going to call you and ask you for money generally. If you want to check it out, the FTC has a whole lot on robocalls and scams. As we spoke about earlier, in times of disaster, you still need to be cautious. I know it's a time that you're thinking that, okay, nobody would play games at this point. Guess what? They still will. They know that they can more easily exploit you because there's a disaster or an emergency. Most scams are designed to do some variation of the following: infect you with malware, steal your personal information, or collect donations for fake charities. That's that's what they want to do. And the idea is they like money. I'm going to just say this once. Please update all your devices. If you don't update your devices, what ends up happening is as they get older and older, they get more security vulnerabilities that they have in it that people can then exploit. If you if you have not updated your computer in the last year, say you have Windows, well, they have a whole library of this is the faults that happen in Windows that people can exploit. The first thing I do is I'm going to scan the entire network, find the computers, then find what OS version you're on. And then there's a whole library literally online of, hey, they got this version, it's not the newest one. What exploits work on this? There are even apps that are made directly to go, okay, I see it, I've scanned it, this is the version, here are all the things that are applicable to break into this machine. This has gone commercial now. Just putting it out there that update your devices. Hell, I update my car. Uh, Things that I just want you to do for your passwords, make the no personal or easy to guess information. Don't put your dog, don't put your street that you grew up as a kid, don't put your nickname. Never, the most important thing I can tell you about your password is don't reuse it. Don't use the same password for multiple sites. Why? Because one site can get compromised. The second that it's compromised, it hits the dark web, and then they make a repository of it. Somebody's going to find that repository. Your email is going to be in there. They're then going to base that on Netflix. They're going to base it on your bank account. They're going to base it on everything they can get out to, and they're going to try that email and that password and see if they can get in. And they're going to get what they can get. Mix letters, numbers, special characters, uppercase and lowercase. Reset your passwords on a clean system. If you think the system's infected, this ain't the system to do your password on. It'd be a bad idea. Make sure you make them 15 characters or more. I like 16, but at least 15 or more. And you get a free password manager from Texas State for being a student, an employee, and a faculty member. We have LastPass. You can get it from iTac. It can save all of your passwords where you only got to remember one super complex password. And then you can get the add-ons for just about every website and almost every app that you can think of, so that you can then go there and have that used for, so you only got to remember one, and then it will change your passwords for each unique site. I'm going to tell you also use Duo. You can use Google Authenticate or Microsoft's multi-factor if you would like. This is how we set up Duo, which you get Duo from being in Texas State, and you can use it at more than just Canvas and our site. You could actually make a Duo for a lot of other websites out there. Now, I would really, really, really like you to only use Duo through the push, the text message, and the hardware token, because my department does have to pay for every time that y'all get a phone call. Now, it's pennies, but we'd like to not have hundreds and hundreds of pennies come up. But if that's the only way, go ahead and use it. I'd rather you do that than not. I mean, I'd like a bonus, but we'll see when that happens. And don't give out your password. Don't give out your MFA. Lastly, I'm going to cover the VPNs. Use a VPN in public settings. Now, granted, we at the university do not suggest a VPN to you. If I were personally telling you, I'd say go look at Nord and make your own decision, but go find if you don't have a business class firewall at home that you can use to just remote into that one, go look at one of the multiple VPNs that are out there. Why? Because a VPN is a virtual private network. It protects you. It makes a connection to that network that is encrypted, that keeps anything else out. Because if you're in a coffee shop, do you really want everybody at the coffee shop sharing the same internet as you? I can tell you to stay safe online, know what the scams are, think before you click, safely peruse. The site's addresses should be legitimate. Make sure that you knew where you were going. I'm going to tell you be creative with your passwords. I'm going to tell you watch where you're at and where you're going. How about an easy rule? If you're at Starbucks, don't go to your bank account if you're not on a VPN. Just putting it out there. Yet again, I'm Tony Frank. I'm from the Information Security Office. We're more than happy to talk to you. We're at 615 in JCK. Come by and see us. We'd be more than happy to discuss whatever issues that y'all are having. Why? Because I'd rather deal with the problem before it becomes a problem. It's a whole lot easier to fix it now than it is to fix it 10 steps into a cyber attack. You can get us at this number. We're infosecurity at texasstate.edu. If there are any questions that you have, but I went a little bit fast. So if there's any questions that y'all have, please email us or ask me. I'm here for the next 30 or so minutes. Or I can just give you stuff and let you go on about today. Either one's fine with me. I get I get paid by the hour. I work for the state. All right, cool. Well, that is all I had for y'all. Thank you.